Hi crochet friends, welcome and welcome back to Alice's Crochet Corner. I'm very excited to crochet with you today. This bag is perfect for every book lover. I've designed it so that it is very easy on the shoulders but also the perfect size for our books. As you probably already know, I really do love using Spotlight's 4 Seasons acrylic yarn, which I've also linked right here. You can use any type of yarn you like. I am using a smaller hook than what is recommended just because I sometimes struggle with the tension, and I find that a smaller hook size helps me maintain that tension we need to prevent the bag from stretching too much. If you don't want to use acrylic yarn, cotton yarn is also a great option because it is more stretch resistant. I have the dimensions of the bag on this slide. As mentioned earlier though, the bag is entirely customizable. So if you prefer to do a bigger base, I will show you how to do that. And if you prefer a bigger body of the bag, you can go ahead and do more rounds. And that's the same with the bag straps as well. And let's get right into it. We will first start by making the base of the bag. First we will do a slip knot. To do so, we grab our yarn to form a loop and grab the tail end of the yarn through that loop and insert our hook. Next we are going to chain 35. To do a chain, we wrap our yarn around our hook and pull through our slip knot. That's one chain, and we will do this a total of 35 times. Once we have our chain of 35, we are going to single crochet from the second chain. So this is our first chain and this is our second chain. We are going to do a single crochet. So inserting my hook in that chain and pulling up a loop, wrapping our yarn around our hook and pull through 2 loops. That's one single crochet, and then we are going to single crochet in each stitch until we are at the end of the row. Just like that. And we are going to continue until we have reached the end. When we get to the last stitch, we are going to work 3 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we will continue on the other side by working 1 single crochet. So this is where we have just done our 3 single crochets. So we're going to insert our hook into the next chain and continue on. And so we are going to continue on until we have reached the last stitch of this row. As we reach the last stitch for this side, we will also work 3 single crochet in the last stitch. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And to end this round, we are going to be doing a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet. So inserting our hook, making sure we have both loops on our hook, grabbing our yarn and pulling through, and pull through again. And this is the end of round 1. To start round 2, we are going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch, and in that same stitch we are going to work 1 single crochet, and we are going to continue and do a single crochet in each stitch all the way across the top row until we have reached our first corner where we've done our 3 single crochets. When we reach the corner where we have done 3 single crochets from the prior round, in the first stitch of the corner we are going to work 3 single crochets. That's 1, 2, and then we are going to grab out our stitch marker and mark the second stitch, because this is where we will be doing the increases in the further rounds, and finish off with 3 single crochets. So you can see in that first stitch of the corner we have 3 single crochets. We will work 1 single crochet in that next stitch, and in the last stitch of that corner again we are going to work 3 single crochets. We will mark the second stitch with a stitch marker, and making sure we have 3 single crochets in that stitch. So you can see we have 3 single crochet in the first corner, 3 single crochet now in the second corner, and we are going to continue until we have reached the 3 single crochets from the last round. When we reach the 3 single crochets from the prior round, we're going to be doing exactly what we've done on this side. In the first stitch we are going to work 3 single crochets. That's 1, 2. Grabbing our stitch marker, we will mark the second stitch. 1 more single crochet, so that's 3 single crochets in that stitch. 1 single crochet in the stitch after, and in the last stitch we are going to work 3 single crochets, again marking the second stitch with a stitch marker. Working 1 more single crochet, so that we now have 3 single crochets in that last stitch. And to end this round we are going to do a slip stitch on top of the first single crochet, so inserting our hook underneath the 2 loops, grabbing our yarn to pull through and pull through again, and that is the end of round 2. From round 3 onwards until we have reached the desired size for the base of our bag, we are going to be repeating exactly what we have done in the last round. I'm going to show you one more time. So we are going to chain 1 to start, single crochet in that same stitch, and single crochet in every stitch. And we will continue along the top row until we have reached the 3 single crochets from the prior round. When we reach the 3 single crochets that we did from the prior round, in that first stitch we are going to do 1 single crochet, and in the next stitch where we have the stitch marker we will do 3 single crochets, and this essentially forms the corner. I will continue and mark the second stitch with a stitch marker, and work 1 more single crochet in that stitch, and continue and work 1 single crochet in every stitch until we have reached our next stitch marker. And when we reach our next stitch marker, that's where we will do 3 single crochets, again marking the second stitch with a stitch marker, finishing off in that stitch, making sure we have 3 single crochets in that last stitch there, and continue working 1 single crochet in every stitch until we have reached the next stitch marker, just like what we have done on these 2 corners. We are going to work 3 single crochets in the stitch where we have used our stitch marker. So that's 1, 2, again marking our second stitch with a stitch marker, working 1 more single crochet in that stitch, so it's 3 single crochets. Continue on working 1 single crochet in every stitch until we have reached our next stitch marker, and again we are going to work 3 single crochets in that stitch. That's 1, 2, using our stitch marker to mark the second stitch, work 1 more single crochet in that stitch, work 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and slip stitch on top of the first single crochet to end this round. And that is the end of round 3. Now you can see clearer how the 3 single crochets in the second stitch creates that corner effect. And so we are going to continue and do exactly what we have done for round 2 and 3 until we have reached the desired size for the base of our bag. I do want to note that you will see as you continue to do more rounds of the base of the bag that the single crochets between the stitch markers and also where you slip stitch will also increase. I ended up doing a total of 5 rounds of the base. To help you count, you can see that this is round 1, and so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 rounds of the base. After we have finished with the base of the bag, we can remove our stitch markers and we will start working on the body of the bag. To start on the body of the bag, we chain 2. That's 1 and 2. This does not count as a stitch. In the same stitch, we are going to work a half double crochet. So wrapping our yarn around our hook and inserting our hook into that stitch, we will pull up a loop, wrap our yarn around our hook and pull through all 3 loops on our hook. That is a half double crochet. We will continue on and do a half double crochet in every stitch. I really love this stitch. I think it's so easy to make. It's a little quicker than the double crochet, and I really like how the stitch looks. Looks very neat. And so we will continue on and do a half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. until we have reached where we've started. I have worked the half double crochet stitch all the way around the base of our bag, and to end this round we are going to do a slip stitch on top of the first half double crochet. So not the chain 2 but the first half double crochet. We insert our hook, making sure we have both loops on our hook, and grabbing our yarn and pulling through. And that is the first round of the body of the bag done. It might not look too obvious yet, but as we crochet more rounds of the body of the bag, the body will start to curl a bit more, like you can see here. And we will repeat exactly what we have done with a half double crochet until we have reached the desired height for the bag that we want. And so I'm going to repeat exactly what we've done for the last round until we have reached the height that we like for the body of our bag. I have finished with the body of the bag, and I ended up doing a total of 25 rounds of the body. This is where we have left off with the body. Once we are happy with the size of it, we are going to cut our yarn. I like to leave a considerable amount left so that we can weave it in. We will chain 1. And we are going to weave in this end of the bag now. Going to go through as many stitches as I can. And we want to be careful that we don't pull too tight so that we don't change the shape of our bag. You can see I've changed the direction of where I'm weaving the strand in. Once we are happy with how the bag looks, we are going to cut our yarn. And lay the bag flat as we start to work on the bag straps. Before we begin, we want to have our 4 stitch markers ready. And what we're going to do is we are going to start on the left hand side. And as we lay our bag flat, we are going to mark the 20th stitch from the center. If you look closely, you can see that we have 3 stitches as we lay the bag flat. We want to count 20 stitches, so not including the stitch in the middle, but 20. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we've marked our 20th stitch. And so we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So not counting the stitch in the middle, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And so right now we should have 41 stitches because we have that stitch in the middle here. So once we have done that, we are going to repeat and do exactly the same on the other side. I have marked with our stitch markers for the other side as well, and we are now ready to work on the bag strap. To start, we are going to start on the left hand side, and we are going to be working our bag strap like this. First, we grab our yarn and insert our yarn into our first stitch marker. So we're going to insert our hook, grab our yarn. We are going to tie it here so it's extra secure. We are going to pull up a loop and chain 1. In that same stitch, we are going to work a half double crochet. It's just a bit tight. And we are going to continue and work a half double crochet in each stitch all the way along until we have reached our next stitch marker. After we have reached our next stitch marker, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. And in that same stitch, so not where we've done the chain 1, but in that stitch, we are going to do a half double crochet. And we will skip the next stitch and work a half double crochet in the stitch after. So we are starting to decrease. You can see it's forming more of a angled look, and we are going to continue on and do a half double crochet in every stitch all the way until we only have 2 stitches left for this row. I'm up to the last 2 stitches remaining for this row. Exactly like what we've done at the start, we are going to skip the second last stitch and work a half double crochet into the stitch after. Just like that. So you can see that on both sides of the strap for this row we have decreased. To start our next round, we are going to chain 1. We'll not be doing any decreases as we are only decreasing in alternate rows. As we've just decreased in the last row, in this row we are going to be doing 1 half double crochet in every stitch. So this is where we've chained 1. We're going to insert our hook into that same stitch and continue with our half double crochet. And so we will repeat all the way as we reach the end of this row. I have worked a half double crochet in every stitch. Next, we are going to chain 1, turn our work, and this is the row where we will be doing a decrease. So again, working a half double crochet in that same stitch. Skipping the next stitch and working a half double crochet into the stitch after. And continue on with our half double crochet. We will continue until we have reached the last 2 stitches of this row. When we have 2 stitches remaining for the row, we skip the second last stitch and work a half double crochet into that last stitch of the row. And that is the end of this round. Right now you can see that the bag of the straps are starting to angle, and if we lay our bag completely flat, you can also start to see it's going to gradually create a triangle that will be slanting both ways. So we are going to repeat exactly what we have done for the bag straps until we have a total of 9 stitches remaining. I have finished working on one side of the bag strap, and right now in this last row we have 9 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. What we want to do is we want to have another row of 9 half double crochets. So we're going to repeat and do 1 half double crochet in every stitch. So picking up where we left off, we're chaining 1, turning our work again and working a half double crochet in every stitch. And there we have it. We have now finished with one side of the bag strap. So where we left off, we are going to chain 1 and cut our yarn. And weave through. So we have now finished with one side of the bag strap. We are going to go ahead and repeat exactly what we have done for the left hand side and repeat for the right hand side, and I'll meet you when we're done. I have gone ahead and done the bag strap for the right hand side as well, and just like what we've done for the left hand side, we have done 2 rows of 9 half double crochets. Now we are going to work on attaching the 2 straps together. To do so, we are going to turn our bag inside facing out. After we have done so, we are going to attach the 2 straps together by doing slip stitches. And so you can see that here is where we've done the chain 1 after our last row. And we align our stitches right next to each other. And first inserting our hook where the first half double crochet is, through the first bag strap, and then the other bag strap, so all the way through like this. We're going to grab our yarn and pull up a loop and pull through. That is our first slip stitch. Then again we are going to insert our hook into the next stitch, through the first bag strap and the second one, grab our yarn and pull up a loop and pull through. That is our second slip stitch. Now moving on to our third. That's our third. And so we are going to continue until we do it for all 9 stitches. I love doing a slip stitch to join because I find that it's much quicker and it still creates a very neat look. But of course, if you prefer to sew it on as well, That's another option too. There we have it. We have done it for all 9 stitches. Then we chain 1. And then we can cut our yarn and weave through, just like that. And this is how it's looking. I'm really loving how it looks at the moment. I think it looks super duper nice and neat. As the final part of our project, we are going to weave in our ends. Thankfully, we don't have too many to weave through. So I'm going to show you how we're going to weave one of them in. It's going to be exactly like how we've done it for the body part of the bag. But again, we're going through as many stitches as we can for one
Guys,
direction.
look at what we have just made. I am honestly so proud of us. As always, I want to say thank you so much for your support and crocheting with me. It really means the world to me. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, it would mean so much if you could like or comment. It really helps my channel so that I can continue making these videos for you. Thank you once again, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Last little bit here. There we have it. And we just go ahead and do it for the other stitches as well, and I'll meet you when we're done.